On their starting lineup for the Reds tonight, T.J. Friedel gets his first start of the series. And Eugenio Suarez will move to DH. Reds have taken the first two of this series, scored 7 runs in each of the first 2 games.
Toyota numbers for the multi-talented and versatile Huáscar Brazoban. In May, hitters are 0 for 22 off his changeup.
Boy, you almost hate to, lose him early in the game. He comes in for an inning or 2, and then he's adios. And the CarShield Metropolitan defense, pretty much the same crew out there in the outfield. Soto, Ewing, Benj, the 2 rooks out there. And on the infield, Beatty, Simeon, Bichette, and Vientos. Luis getting a lot of playing time with Alvarez down.
Blake Dunn leads off for the Reds, 1 for 8 in this series. Brazoban's first pitch of the night is a fastball in for a strike, and we're underway. Dunn has started all 3 games in the leadoff spot for the Reds after leading off just 1 game before this series. Chops one to the left side, and the hole goes Bichette. The running toss, no chance to get the speedy Dunn, who has an infield hit to start the night.
I mean, you could have been Shannon Dunston, and I don't think you're going to throw out Dunn on that ground ball.
This is the 7th game that Huáscar Brazoban has worked as an opener. It's the first hit he's ever given up in that role. He had gone 7 1/3 innings as an opener without giving up a hit.
And a bleeder.
And now you got a base stealer at first. Brazoban's outstanding at holding runners.
He's pretty much outstanding anything he does. He's just been fabulous.
Here's Elly De La Cruz, 2 hits last night. Dunn walks off his lead, and De La Cruz shows bunt. He offered at it. No, they say he did not offer at it.
Bring it back.
Third base umpire Emil Jimenez said he did not offer at it.
Oh, yes, he did.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Jimenez had a rough night behind the plate last night. He had 7 calls overturned. And we went back and checked, and in the entirety of the season before this, he had a total of 7 calls overturned. So he just had a bad night.
Yeah, he's been one of the best umpires, and then last night got him.
Have to do a little bet check next time he's behind the plate.
I mean, who's going to do that?
J.J. Bleday on deck. Well, was a supervisor of umpires, no?
I thought
Edwin Moscoso's calling the balls and strikes tonight. Hunter Wendelstedt at first. The crew chief Vic Carapazza is at second, and Emil Jimenez already introduced.
I thought you were volunteering.
A little muggy tonight.
Well, maybe instead of a bed check, just a Smith and Walensky's check. Keith would be up for that.
Yes.
De La Cruz playing in his 273rd consecutive game, 3rd longest active streak. Close play at first, but Dunn gets back. Only Matt Olson and Pete Alonso have played in more consecutive games actively than Elly De La Cruz. 4th in the National League in base hits after his 2 hits last night. Dunn has a bigger lead, but not going, and Brazoban misses with the changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Pete Rose played in 678 consecutive games.
Is that the Reds record?
Yeah, Reds record.
And De La Cruz goes down on the changeup, and Brazoban's got a strikeout for his first out of the night.
He just throws so hard, and then that parachute change just never gets there. Good pitch. De La Cruz strikes out a lot.
Yes.
Why? Because he wants to hit, and he will swing at the ball off the plate.
He takes a big cut. Yep. Leaves him exposed to a degree.
Now J.J. Bleday, 4 for 9 in this series, including a home run in the opening game on Monday.
Catcher has challenged the pitch.
And Terren's challenging the call of ball 1.
That's borderline high. I'm going to say high. Oh, got it.
Terren's 1 for 1. ABS powered by T-Mobile. You can see him smiling behind the mask and shaking his head. I'd better have gotten it right. It's the first inning. 0-1 to Bleday with Sal Stewart on deck. Dunn has not moved from first. And change up low and in, a ball and a strike.
Yeah, he got a fastball out over the plate off of McLean and just launched it. It's a home run hitting ball club, boy. They've hit the ball hard in this series.
Yesterday they had 15 hits, no home runs. 2 balls and a strike to Bleday. Reds got off to a great start this year. They were 20-11. Then they lost 13 of the next 17. But now they're back on a hot streak, having won 5 of 6. And the changeup misses to Bleday, and Brazoban behind 3-1.
See if they put Dunn in motion here, 3-1.
And Bleday takes a changeup down for ball 4. So the Reds have 2 men on. And Sal Stewart coming to the plate. And NL Central has been surprisingly competitive, with every team in the division at least 3 games over 500 coming into the day.
Oh, the Cubs finally got on top earlier here. They're on a tailspin.
They've lost 10 in a row, and it's only the 2nd inning.
I hear you. They got plenty of time to cough it up.
Here's Sal Stewart, the 22-year-old rookie, 2 for 8 in this series. Playing third base tonight. It's an odd team structure in that they have 3 players who are primary third basemen. Brian Hayes, who normally plays their Gold Glover, but also Suarez and Stewart. And Brazoban misses low for ball 1. So they've played Stewart a lot at first base. They've DH'd Suarez a lot.
They have a versatile team. Spencer Steer is starting in the 3rd position for the 3rd straight game.
Yeah, that really helps them in terms of moving their personnel around. That changeup finds the plate, and it's 1-1 to Stewart. Now the Brewers just are relentless. They've won 14 of their last 18.
Yep. I think they're the class of that division, and they just took them a while to get the engine warm. They've been in 5th gear for a while now.
They had a little misunderstanding with the Cardinals last night when the Brewers reliever Abner Uribe made rather obscene gestures toward the Cardinal dugout, claiming that Ollie Marmol had given signals the night before for his pitchers to hit Brewers hitters. Grounded toward third, charging Beatty. Great backhand pickup, and Vientos stays on the bag. That's a terrific play by Beatty, and Vientos able to seal the deal at first. 2 out.
He doesn't make that play. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Beautiful bare hand. Let's see the throw. Well, the footwork isn't sterling, but it got a job done.
Never works. So 2 out, 2 in scoring position, and now Eugenio Suarez, who had the first inning 2-run double last night, and he's got a couple in scoring position tonight. Suarez 4 for 8 in this series. And chops one foul on a first pitch sinker, 0-1.
Very dangerous hitter. Very relaxed hitter.
He's got a home run in his career against Brazoban, 1 for 5 against him. Dunn at third, Bleday at second, and Suarez yanks one foul, and it's 0-2.
Big hit, changeup, left up by David Peterson, and he took advantage of it.
During this stretch where the Mets are not hitting, they need well-pitched games. They haven't gotten them the last 2 nights. Suarez goes down swinging on the changeup, and so Brazoban works around a couple of base runners in the first. Mets come to bat, no score. Inning, talking things over with Carlos Mendoza. Jonah Tong has begun to throw in the bullpen. We'll see whether Brazoban gets more than just the 1 inning. There were 19 pitches in that first inning. Carson Bench gets set to lead off for New York. Honda starting lineup. Eric Wagaman gets his first start for the Mets. He's DHing and batting 7th. Made his Mets debut last night against the left-hander Andrew Abbott. And Bench bluffs a bunt and takes ball 1.
Abbott had a tough spring training, started the season cold as well, but his last 5 starts Only 4 earned runs in his last 28 innings pitched.
1.29 ERA over that span. Benj pops one up on the left side. Coming in is the left fielder Bleday. And he one-hands it for the first out.
And your Reds defense, your Suffolk Credit Union defense, and Nathaniel Lowe back at first base, the former Gold Glover. You've got Friedel in center field. This will be his 37th start in center field, his first start in this series. And Spencer Steer's been all over the place. It's his 3rd start at second base.
Here's Bo Bichette, 4 for 8 in this series. And he takes a breaking ball down for ball 1. Abbott has had first inning troubles this year. His first inning ERA is 8.18. If you don't get him in the first, he's a lot tougher after that. Not a big guy, just 6 feet tall.
Two different breaking balls to go with that fastball and changeup. He'll elevate some fastballs. He doesn't tick the radar gun very high, but he knows what he's doing. He has some great pitchability, they call it there.
High spin rate on his breaking balls. His changeup has been hit hard this year. This one's lifted out to deep center field, but Friedel's got room in front of the warning track. And he's got it 2 down.
Struck that one well. Deep part of the park.
So up 2 fly balls, 2 set aside. There's Jonathan getting ready. And now Juan Soto, who has been alone in the Mets lineup, came back after missing 2 games under the weather. Hit a 2-run homer last night for the Mets, only 2 runs. And he bluffs a bunt and takes a strike.
Now here's the bomb. Fastball meant to be away and up, and it was down and in, and one is middle in. And down, you're asking for trouble.
7 home runs now in his last 11 games. So he didn't miss a beat after being out for a couple of days, running a fairly high fever. He's got 2 of his 11 home runs against lefties this year. And he rockets that one down the right field line, and that ball's going to sail out of here. Juan Soto strikes again. Soto every night. And the Mets have a 1-0 lead in the first. Number 12 for Soto is 8th in the last 12 games.
Kind of double clutch. I wonder if he hit. It's a secondary pitch there.
This one is a curveball.
Okay.
It crowded him inside. And what makes this one impressive is that he had to make the adjustment. The curveball comes, you think it's going to break away, and it stays inside, and you have to be quick. And it was down, and he just dropped the barrel. That's an impressive home run.
His grip on the side of the ball.
There it is.
This is the curveball.
Yep, and when you leave it in the middle and off speed, he's gonna rip it.
It felt like he was out on his front foot, but kept his hands back. Is that?
No, he was perfect balance. He was on his back foot. It was just, it was a pretty impressive home run. Pretty impressive. I'm impressed.
That takes quite a bit right there.
That's an A+ right there. That's an A+ if I was the teacher.
There's no grade inflation for Steve.
Doesn't have to bring me an apple. He stays back. He's on that back. Look how he strides forward. Balance is perfect. And the key is just waiting and let that ball break into your bat.
It really speaks to his strength. That's what it does.
That was right into his wheelhouse. I thought it was more inside, but it was inner half.
Vientos strikes out on the changeup, inning over, but Soto's home run gives the Mets the early lead. Number 12 for Soto, 1-0 Mets.
Kick off your summer with Memorial Day deal.
In the second inning at Citi Field, Mets with a 1-0 lead, and after Huascar Brazoban threw a scoreless first, Jonathan's in as the bulk reliever.
Well, you see, that's his outing in Miami. You can see the numbers, just excellent up and down. Also got a double play in that game.
Nathaniel Lowe leads off in the second and takes a fastball for a strike. Lowe is 1 for 2 in this series. Sat last night against the left-hander. Lowe has gotten hot recently. Hit a couple of home runs in their doubleheader Saturday against the Cardinals, and he hits this one off the end of the bat to right. Carson Benj has it lined up, and that's the first out. Jonah Tong made the second start of his big league career in Cincinnati last September. He pitched really well. He only gave up 3 hits. Only problem was they were all home runs. Lost the game 6-3. That's dropped 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati in that September series. They could have just about buried the Reds if they had swept that series, but they didn't, and Reds wound up edging the Mets out for their postseason berth. Spencer Steer takes a strike. Steer's driven in 3 runs in this series. Started the first game in right field, last night at first base, today at second. And that ball sneaks through the left side, and Steer's got a 1-out single.
Nice curveball, Ron. Nice hitting.
Yeah, that's the pitch he's been working on. And even though the Mets infield was playing to pull, that still got through there. Here's the breaking ball.
I like this.
About.
That's a good curve right there. You know, he left it a little bit on the outer half. He gets it away where on the corner it's an out. But, you know, it's not that easy.
There's Tyler Stevenson, who's had a big series. 3 for 8, a double and a home run. And he takes a cutter for a strike.
Jonah's a very personable young man. I really like him. He's got a good sense of humor. He can laugh at himself. I really like him.
He's a Canadian. No bad Canadian. Inside, the ball and a strike. Markham, Ontario, his hometown. That's took him in the 7th round of the 2022 draft. Rocketed through the minor leagues last year. Made his 2 AAA starts before he was called up. Probably a little prematurely, but the Mets had a need. They saw flashes of what he's capable of. And this year he has come to the party with a few more weapons.
A few more weapons and a seriousness about how he's going about his business. That's another cutter too in this breakdown to Stevenson.
And his running, his motion is not as extreme as it was last year.
It's not as many moving parts. You're right.
1-2 to Stevenson, and he yanks that one foul.
Interesting. No real leg kick out of the stretch. It's almost a slide step to home plate.
Last year he did not allow a stolen base in his 5 big league starts. And that changeup just missed if it did.
He has to be way off the plate. It's not being challenged by Torrens. That tells me he was inside. Oh boy, I tell you, that's a strike. That's nipping the.
That might have caught the edge.
That is a pitcher's pitch.
2-2 to Stevenson with T.J. Friedel on deck, and Stevenson fouls back the high fastball.
Throwing a lot of slow stuff, softer stuff to Stevenson. I'd like to see him double up on that fastball, catch him guessing.
Two. He fouls away that one.
Well, here's the home run Monday off McClain. Fastball, middle, in actually, and knocked that guy, the fan, down. He hit it so hard. A 2-iron he hit out of the ballpark.
8th pitch of the at bat from Tong to Stevenson. He hits this one in the air to center, chasing Ewing back. He's got room. And AJ makes the catch. Tagging at first is Steer, but he will hold on as Ewing threw a 1-hop strike to second base.
One hop strike with authority. Deepest part of the park.
So 2 out and a runner at first, and not T.J. Friedel. Until 2 weeks ago, Friedel had started 185 straight games as the Reds' leadoff hitter. But he has struggled so much this year. He has not only been taken out of the lineup frequently, but he's also been dropped to the number 9 spot.
It kind of becomes that, when you got fast guys that steal bases, the 9 and 1 hitter with the DH can become your like 2 leadoff hitters.
Friedel's in his 6th year with the Reds. This has been his toughest year so far, hitting just 176 with a 511 OPS as that curveball misses up and away, 1-1. Steer at first with 2 out. And Friedel drops a bunt, and he'll beat this out. Tom will have to put it in his pocket.
That's a beautiful bunt. Up there is Buddy Harrelson smiling right now, even though it's the enemy.
Well, when you're thirsting for some hits, sometimes with 2 outs, you take it if they give it to you. It was really good at Beatty. He was screaming, hold it, because it looked like Tom wanted to throw that to first. Had no play.
So 2 out and 2 on. Now Blake Dunn, who had an infield hit his first time up. And Dunn flies one to deep left center, but again, Ewing will have plenty of room out there, and that retires the side. Tom works around a couple of hits in the second. 1-0 New York.
If you
Home second inning, Marcus Semien leads off against Andrew Abbott, who surrendered a home run to Juan Soto in the first inning. Semien has a home run in this series, 2 hits and 7 at bats, and he takes a strike. Semien, A.J. Ewing, and Eric Wagman, the 3 scheduled hitters for the Mets. The splits on Andrew Abbott have been sort of backwards this year in that the lefties are hitting for a higher average.
Yep.
But he's walked more right-handed hitters than he has struck out.
Right.
Which is very unusual.
And to be exact here, the lefties are hitting .304 with 56 at bats, only 3 walks issued. Righties .247, also hit 5 home runs off 5 of his 7, 23 walks. It reminds me a lot, Ronnie. We were talking earlier about Tom Browning, the former Reds ace back in the 80s. The only thing he doesn't have that Browning had was a screwball.
And a perfect game.
Yes. He was a battler, Tom Browning.
What's funny about Abbott is that he came to spring training this year, and if you notice, he really pitches closed. He throws against his body. So he steps towards first base and then launches. He tried to get where he was open coming to home. He got a little more velocity on the ball, and it really set him back.
As a result, his walks are up from last year. His strikeouts are down. Last year, he had a fabulous year. He finished 8th in the Cy Young balloting. He was an all-star in 29 starts at a 2.87 ERA. Really a terrific season. And he's trying to get back to that.
It's a fantastic ERA in that park.
Yes.
7th pitch of the at bat to Semien, and Marcus takes it high, full count. Mets faced Abbott twice last year. He pitched a really good game here, took a no decision, and then the Mets tattooed him for 5 runs and 4 2/3 in Cincinnati in September. And Semien lines one end, and De La Cruz with a marvelous play. Ellie De La Cruz using all of his length to get to that ball on the backhand to deny Semien a hit.
They're playing him to pull Semien, and Semien likes to pull. Look, he's on the left of your screen. Just a wonderful play.
Allstate good hands replay. Second time in this series he's caught a ball that was behind him.
Right. You know, the crossover from left to right got him that little extra distance.
That's as good as it gets.
Now A.J. Ewing is 2 for 8 in this series. His 15th big league start.
Nice curve. Good spot.
Oh, 2 to Ewing. Sweeper off the plate, 1-2. Andrew Abbott's not only a good pitcher, he's also a smart guy. He went to the University of Virginia, really good school, right?
Good school.
Graduated in 3 years with a degree in biology.
Oh wow!
I mean, that's some big time stuff right there.
I mean, if you graduate with a degree in biology, that means you're taking most of the sciences, organic chem. I mean,
can't even conceive.
right?
Swing and a miss, and Ewing down on the sweeper. Second strikeout for Abbott.
That might be running off 2 in a row to Ewing. The hardest curveball I've seen, of 10-4 curveball and hard. I mean, that's a tough pitch.
Here's Eric Wagaman making his first start for the Mets. Came off the bench last night, had 2 at-bats. Wagaman was pretty much an everyday player for Miami last year. Hit .250 with 9 home runs. And he rockets one deep down the line. Gone if it stays fair. It is out of here. Eric Wagaman's first hit as a Met is a home run. And the Mets on a 2-0 lead.
Boy, that had to feel sweet. Oh, he just turned on this fastball in.
110 miles an hour off the bat, and he crushed it.
Every bit. Fastball, I think knee high or mid thigh in, and he just had a quick bat on it.
Welcome to New York, Eric Wagaman.
Yes, indeed.
Wag the dog. Well, the Mets with a couple of home runs off Andrew Abbott in the first 2 innings. Brett Beatty with 2 out and nobody on.
Oh, yeah, it's a fastball. Like a little ran in, Ron. It was more belt high. A little below the belt.
Boy. It's like the same pitch Stevenson we showed earlier hit off McLean.
Good, yes. Quick.
Oh, he's a big man.
Yes, he is. That'll win you some friends in a hurry. One and 2 to Beatty, dropped to 8th in the order against the lefty. Reds hitting just 194 against left-handers this year. Lofts that one foul. That'll go out of play. Well, Carlos Mendoza said the other night, in the midst of this offensive drought, he said, we're not driving the ball. We're not hitting for power. Well, 2 home runs through the first 7 batters today. It started the day 12th in the National League in home runs and dead last in slugging percentage. On the ground is short, circling in De La Cruz, throwing on the move, and he gets Beatty by a stride, side retired. Eric Wagaman with the home run, introducing himself. 2-0 Mets. Well, that's the Canyon of Heroes. Getting ready for Knicks parade.
Yes.
Maybe in a couple of weeks.
I remember it well.
Eli De La Cruz leads off in the 3rd and takes a strike from Jonah Tong. De La Cruz struck out against Brazoban in the 1st inning. Oscar worked a scoreless inning. Tong came in, worked around a couple of hits in the 2nd, and now facing De La Cruz to start the 3rd with a 2-0 lead. It's only the second time this year that the Mets have homered in each of the first 2 innings in a game. Bo Bichette did that by himself in Washington a couple of weeks ago. It was just last week.
Right.
Seems like a lot longer ago. Chopped off the plate. Tong off the mound. Makes the quick toss low, and Vientos can't handle it. Well, Tong made a poor throw, and Vientos couldn't pull it out of the dirt. That'll be an error charge to Tong.
He was in between throwing it over there and kind of tossing it. So he ends up just tossing it over there and spiked it right into the dirt. I think if you're a first baseman in the major leagues, you have to assume a bad throw from the pitcher each and every time.
Now, if you're the pitcher in that circumstance, it's a relatively short throw. So how do you get enough on it without getting too much on it?
Well, his problem there, Gary, is that he kind of took his time getting to the ball. If you sprint to that ball, it gives you all the time in the world to get the out. Especially with De La Cruz running, you have to know who the runner is.
And there's another thing right there. De La Cruz hustled and forced the error.
J.J. Bleday drew a walk his first time up. Pulls one down to Vientos, handles it, and he's going to take it to the bag. Thought about second. Maybe he didn't think he had a good angle to throw.
I think he didn't get the handle.
I think you're right, Ron. He just didn't have a grip on the ball. So he decided not to get the sure out. And it is very fortunate. This is not 5 feet more to his right. They've been first and third. Yep.
Oh, it's stuck in his glove.
Stuck in his glove. There's too much space.
Yep.
Well, that's a good decision from Mark then. Outstanding.
So De La Cruz second with 1 out. Now Sal Stewart. He was thrown out on a fine bare hand play by Beatty his first time up.
You have to, there it is right there. It's kind of wants to get stuck in there. So he needs, you always got to do a little maintenance on your glove. As the season goes on, the laces stretch, and you've got to tighten them.
Seems like every team, at least used to, I don't know if it still is, has a glove doctor.
Yeah,
somewhere.
usually they were the trainers for the most part. Now remember, Vientos, when he was playing third base last year, the ball went right through his glove.
Yep. And he got charged with an error because you were in charge of having your equipment properly maintained. 0-2 to Stewart.
Gary, I didn't answer your question. What you want to do is you want to hustle to that ball if you're the pitcher and when you're close to the first baseman, but you want to get your crow hop in as you're fielding it so you have movement. He tried to throw without any movement and kind of like just flicked it over there. You want a little bit of athleticism as you're making the throw.
Change up misses to Stewart. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And one little final thing on the maintenance of your glove. I use 2 gloves a year. I would switch at the All-Star break. I would have to tighten the laces on the gloves, and halfway through the first half, halfway through the second half.
Ground ball toward the middle. Bichette to his left. The spinorama on a hop, and Vientos pulls that one out of the dirt, and they get the out. Nicely done on both ends. De La Cruz to third, 2 away.
Good range up the middle. Let's see the hop here. Oh, yeah, it's in between hop. That's not an easy one. Worked from the ground up. Picture perfect. Well done, Mr. Vientos.
So after the error, now 2 away, runner at third. Here's Eugenio Suarez, who struck out with 2 in scoring position his first time up. And takes a fastball at the top of the zone for a strike. Tong hitting 96 and 97 with his fastball. He averaged a shade under 96 in his 3 innings in Miami. Tries the changeup, and Suarez did not swing. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Getting close to 1,000 RBI. That's a nice milestone.
49 home runs last year. Second time he had reached that figure. First time was with the Reds back in 2019, and now back for a second go-round with Cincinnati.
He could end his career with over 400 home runs and over 1,000 RBIs.
Oh, he'll definitely get over 1,000. It's a matter of how close will he get to 1,500.
He's only 34 years old, so he's probably got a few more good years.
Yeah.
De La Cruz taking a lengthy lead down the line at third. 2-1 to Suarez. That's too high. 3-1. Nathaniel Lowe would be next. And Suarez chases a high fastball. 3-2.
Back up there again, Keith?
Yes, I would.
Up and in for ball 4, and so Suarez reaches on a walk. And the Reds have runners at first and third.
Suarez reminds me, you remember the third baseman that played for the Brewers, the Cubs, and the Pirates, I believe.
Ramos
Ramirez. He's having that kind of career.
Yep.
Good visit here by Justin Willard. Long inning. Give his youngster a rest here. Also, some extra information as he goes on to face Lowe.
You've got Lowe. You got to keep the ball away. He looks to pull. Low ball hitter.
Around the majors driven by New York Presbyterian, Christopher Sanchez now has the 7th longest scoreless inning streak since the dead ball era in 1920. Wow. The only 6 pitchers who had longer streaks were Hershiser, who has the record at 59, Don Drysdale, Bob Gibson, trying to read my writing, Carl Hubble, Zach Greinke, and Sal Magley. That's it.
The barber.
There's Nathaniel Lowe flied out to right his first time up. Fouls back the high fastball, 0-1.
It's a good pitch to throw low. That high fastball is effective for Jonah.
He threw it by him too. You have to be careful with the changeup for a strike because he did fly out to right, but he just missed it.
De La Cruz at third, Suarez at first. And Lowe hits one toward the middle of the diamond, and Bichette can't come up with it. That'll bring a run in. De La Cruz scores. Suarez will go first to third. So Nathaniel Lowe with an RBI single to cut the Met lead to 2-1.
He had a chance to throw out Lowe because he doesn't run well if he makes that play. I thought the ball kind of came up on him a little bit. Just watch the hop. No, that's a pretty true hop. It did come up a little bit. They got him on the thumb of the glove.
So it's an unearned run against Tong, whose error opened the door in this inning. Now the tying run at third, Spencer Steer the batter. Steer stuck a base hit through the left side of the infield his first time up. He fouls back the first pitch, cutter, 0-1.
They take some cuts, this ball club, let me tell you.
Soto playing extremely deep in left field.
Tom threw that cutter right by him, and it's 0-2.
Interesting too, run on the opposite corner over in right field. Ben's playing shallow.
Well, Steer's got power. He's got 7 home runs this year. Suarez at third, Lowe at first with 2 down. Tom trying to put this inning to bed after giving up an unearned run. Fouled off. Game at 97 that time. This will be the 22nd pitch of the inning from Tom. Drops that changeup low, and it's 1-2.
You know, Gary, you mentioned coming into this series how this ball club doesn't chase. And we have seen it all 3 games. They have good eyes at the plate.
Second lowest chase rate of the 30 major league teams. And Steer fouls back the cutter. Still 1-2. They're forcing Tong to work very hard in this 3rd inning. I don't know how long the Mets planned for Tong to go. He's already thrown more pitches in this outing than he did in 3 innings in Miami. And he struck him out. Went away with the fastball to get Steer. First strikeout for Tong, and it strands a pair. Reds get an unearned run to cut the Met lead to 2-1 in the 3rd. Luis Torrens will lead off for the Mets in the bottom of the 3rd. Torrens had a couple of hits last night. Tonight the Mets only managed 5 hits. They've gotten a couple of solo home runs in the first 2 innings from Soto and Wagaman. Yes, Eric Wagaman, for the uninitiated. Torrens 2 for 7 in this series, and he takes low and in from Abbott for ball 1. Carson Bench and Bo Bichette to follow. So Francisco Alvarez in the clubhouse today. He said, "I'm ready." Now, of course, he's not ready. He just had meniscus surgery a couple of weeks ago, but he has shown over the course of his career that he is a fast healer.
And you got to be careful with that meniscus, particularly if you're a catcher, because there's a lot of squatting, and that's a big consideration right there.
No question. But he's already doing that. He's already squatting and catching. He's taking full BP. So the hope is that he will beat the 8-week timetable. Torrens, meanwhile, getting the vast majority of the playing time with Hayden Senger as the backup, starting all 3 games in this series. 3-2 to Luis. Here's Alvey. He's itching.
He's got a tip on a snowstorm.
Well, it's only 82. Beautiful night. Perfect night for baseball. It's such a nice night. We let Keith wear polos.
Yes.
Grounded to 3rd. In comes Stewart to play the hop. And throws out Torrens one away. Your Old Spice fresh stats. Fewest strikeouts per 9 innings. Funny to see Sandy Alcantara on that list.
Well, he's a sinker baller at 99.
Here's Carson Bench. And he takes a sweeper outside for ball 1. Bench flied out to left field his first time up. Carson's had a little bit of a lull at the plate, just 1 for his last 19. Still making diving catches in the outfield, still providing energy. Got on base 3 times in the opening game of the series by getting hit in the back twice.
Hitting over 300 against left-handers.
He was unlucky in Miami. He had some bullets.
Oh, the 2 he hit to the fence that Marcy caught in the same game. And he stopped the swing on that sweeper. 2 balls and a strike. Bichette waiting on deck. He's got better numbers against lefties, although in a small sample size. We've seen both he and Ewing handle lefties okay. 2-2 to Bench. I mean, it's really to the credit of these younger players that they are being left into the lineup every day against lefties and righties, despite their youth and lack of experience. Bench drives this one out to center. Friedel ranging back onto the warning track to make the catch.
Yeah, the wind is kind of blowing. It was blowing from left to right. Up top it is, above the scoreboard.
That one carried a bit.
It's a big opportunity for Ewing and Bench to get out here and play every day.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Bo Bichette, who flied out to center his first time up. Well, each of the first 2 innings, Abbott retired the first 2 hitters and then gave up a long ball.
Yep.
Now he's got the first 2 hitters in the third.
Right now, number 1 on his mind, Ronnie, is get Bichette out and have Soto lead off next inning. Well, always keep your eye on the ball, particularly when you got a glove in your hand to make a play. Follow it all the way in.
Bichette, it's a rocket out to left field. Back goes Bleday, right back near the wall, and he has just enough room to make the catch.
Jeez.
Bichette making a bid for a 3rd Met home run in the first 3 innings. It came up just a couple of feet shy. 2-1 New York after 3. 4th inning, 2-1 New York. Tyler Stevenson leads off for Cincinnati against Jonah Tong. Stevenson flied out to center his first time up. 8, 9, and 1 on the order for Tong in this 4th inning. Stevenson, then T.J. Friedel and Blake Dunn. Stevenson had an 8-pitch at bat his first time up. Tong falls behind him 2-0. So you were crowing about the Cubs maybe breaking their losing streak?
Yeah.
The Pirates just tied up the Cubs 4-4 after 5. Connor Griffin hit a home run to tie that game. You know, yesterday, grounded to third. Beatty stepped to his left to get it. Throws out Stevenson one away. Yesterday, Connor Griffin batted leadoff for the first time for the Pirates. The youngest player to lead off for the Pirates since 1952 when Bobby Del Greco.
Bobby Del Greco. Never heard of him.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have a particularly distinguished career. 1952.
Well, I wasn't around then.
But, no, but, you know, you might have heard tell.
I wasn't even in the oven in that summer of '52.
But you've heard of Babe Ruth, right? But not Bobby Del Greco.
I mean, when is the last time someone said in the oven?
T.J. Friedel had a bunt single his first time up. Beatty playing it on the grass at third this time. Friedel now has 41 career bunt hits. There are only 3 active players with more. Starling Marte, Jose Altuve, Cedric Mullins. I mean, Bobby Del Greco played in the big leagues for 14 years, but he played for a lot of different teams. But I think he was 19 when he came up with the Pirates in '52. Those were the Ralph Kiner, Joe Garagiola Pirates, where it's ball 4 to Friedel.
Was that
where
before?
Branch Rickey was the GM, and after Ralph led the National League in home runs for like the 5th time, he asked for a raise, and Rickey said, "We can finish last without you."
Right. Was Dick Road around in '52? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think he had come up yet.
Everybody forgets about Dick
I
Road.
think he was still in the oven. Here's Blake Dunn up for the 3rd time. It's 1 for 2 on the day. Infield hit back in the first. And a check swing tapper back to Tong. This time his throw is true. Semi into first. Not in time. Dunn has really good speed. But they get the 1-4 fielder's choice for the 2nd out.
That's the 2nd time in this series Dunn has been sawed off and hit a grounder back to the pitcher.
He had that 1-2-3 double play yesterday against Peterson.
A little double clutch prevents the 2. Just
he didn't catch it in the pocket. What happens a lot of times when you get a comeback, Keith, you were talking about looking the ball in. Always look it in because you really want to get rid of it and try to get 2. Sometimes you do that before you catch it.
So 2 out with Dunn at first. Here's De La Cruz, and he swings and misses at a changeup. 0-1. I was incorrect, Keith. Dick Road's rookie year was 1952.
Seriously, okay.
Played in 95 games, and then he missed the next 2 seasons because he was in the military.
Yeah.
During the Korean War.
Great player.
He was the MVP in 1960.
Batting champ too, was he not? Came over to the Cardinals, and I forget what the trade was for, and he really brought that team together in a '64 championship against the Yankees.
He's also a great basketball player, played at Duke, and for the last 60 years of his life was the color commentator on the University of Pittsburgh radio broadcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to see him all the time when Pittsburgh was in the Big East.
That must have been cool. I wish I had known that. I wish I would love to have met him.
Oh, he was, what a wonderful guy.
Maybe I did. Who knows? I'm getting forgetful.
As humble as they come and as bald as me.
Yes, I remember that.
1-2 to De La Cruz, and he just got a piece of that changeup to stay in the at-bat.
Well, it was my first game my dad took us, my brother and I. The Cardinals were in town, and well, of course at Candlestick Park the visiting team had the third base dugout, and we got there early to watch BP, and there was Dick Groke warming up, and took off his hat, and I was stunned.
Shine. Popped up in foul ground. Nobody's going to reach this one. Not enough air under that ball for Torrens to get there.
Well, 1 and 2 count. If I'm hitting here, you just got to stick to basics. You're behind the count. You just got to bear down.
Go to hitting?
Yes.
Torrens blocks that changeup, and it's 2-2.
Well, he's trying to get him to swing at that changeup in the dirt.
Yes.
Lots of strikeouts from L.A. De La Cruz. I think he's better this year at not chasing than he's been in the past few years. High heater works.
Another one. Got it up. Middle.
He's got such a long swing. The changeup that's a strike scares me.
What's been particularly different about De La Cruz this year has been his whiff rate against fastballs. He's cut that in half from last year, and I think that's probably why Jonah's throwing him all these changeups.
We haven't seen the curveball really come into play yet.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat to De La Cruz. Tried the fastball and missed inside. Now it's full count. Vientos will play behind Dunn, who will be running.
Playing in the pull. I'm going to drop a change on him here.
3-2. In the air to left center. Ewing has room on the warning track and puts it away to retire the side. A walk in one left, middle of the 4th. Mets 2. Reds 1.
Moderate to severe Crohn's disease.
We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mets with a 2-1 lead. Juan Soto delivered the keynote with a home run in the 1st inning.
Let's take a look and see what Juan does when he gets into the box. See if he does it again. Look where he taps on home plate. He gets settled in. Remember, that back foot is way back there. Look what he does. Right at the point of the backside of the home plate, in the middle. And he lays it flat on the ground. Most guys will either tap the outside corner, which I did to make sure I had coverage, or some guys I never understood tap the inside corner.
Well, I feel like that front foot is really reversed even more than usual.
Take another look now. Watch what he does. Right in the middle at the angle, the point, the back.
And what's he trying to measure there?
I don't know. He may have hurt himself with that swing.
That wrist has been problem off and on all season. Every once in a while when he swings and misses, that right wrist flares up.
This could be a major dekage. I think he's not, but it's not going to affect his swing.
He's done it a couple times now, or a half dozen times. When he swings and misses the wrong way, he kind of gets a, what do you call that? A little stinger. Yeah, a little stinger in his hand.
Well,
doesn't hurt him when he makes contact.
We'll wait till this is bad. I got something I can add to that.
2-1 from Abbott. One flies this one out to right center. This one's playable for Dunn.
He grimaced on that swing, if you noticed that. My great teammate George Hendrick of the Cardinals. George would go down and look bad on a breaking ball, Gary Ron, and go down on his knee and look terrible. And I go, George,
set him up.
I said, George, why you look so bad? He goes, Keith, that's because I want him to throw it again.
Mark Vientos went around on the half swing on the curveball. Well, one's not going down for any treatment, so that's a good sign. Vientos struck out his first time up. And Mark flies this one out to right. Another play for Dunn.
A lot of fly balls in this game.
Yeah.
Got a lot of pitchers that are pitching up in the strike zone. Both pitchers up in the strike zone.
So Abbott's retired 6 in a row since the home run by Wagaman in the second. Marcus Semien was absolutely purloined of a hit in the second inning.
Nice word. What was the I forget the short story mystery, the purloined letter.
That Poe?
Oh yes, Poe, correct.
Eldy De La Cruz using his full length to reach out behind him. Now De La Cruz to his left.
Nice. And
he makes the play. Not as complicated, but Semien's got to pick somebody else to hit it to. 2-1 Mets after 4. First 15,000 fans at the game this Friday will get a Bobby Valentine disguise, celebrate a legendary Mets manager, and an iconic moment in team history. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. Iconic, huh? J.J. Bleday leads off in the 5th inning. And takes a changeup down from Jonah Tong. Tong's worked 3 innings in a bulk reliever role. He's given up an unearned run on 3 hits. Walked 1, struck out 1. Bleday takes cutter inside. It's 2-0. 3, 4, and 5 in the Cincinnati order. Sal Stewart on deck, and then Eugenio Suarez. Tong making his 2nd appearance of the season. Just the 7th of his major league career. Somehow it feels like a lot more than that.
Yeah. Well, these games he pitched last year were so important. Maybe that's why. Tugged those fastballs so far inside the Bleday. That's why he's 3-0.
Change-up.
It's a change-up on 3-0.
Really? Okay. And he just looks like an entirely different pitcher. Very poised. I like what I see.
Pulled down to first, and Vientos has got it. 1 away. Second time in a row that Bleday has grounded out to Vientos. So Tong comes from 3-0 down to get the first out in the 5th.
I think when we watched Tong last year, Keith and Gary, it was more like so happy to be here. Now he looks like I really want to stay here.
Yep.
1 out and nobody on. Now Sal Stewart has had a couple of nice defensive plays made against him. One by Beatty, one by Bichette. First pitch curveball outside for ball 1. A few curveballs that Tong has thrown tonight.
That was a good one. Just needs to center it more.
Half swing, and he stopped it in time. 2-0.
Second hitter, he's fallen behind. Fallen behind the count.
Jonah will not turn 23 until next month. That 2-0 cutter in just the right spot away against a guy who is looking to lift and separate.
Yeah, I'd be careful with that. He's a good high ball hitter, Sal Stewart.
Also a pretty good contact hitter for a young hitter with such power. It's two 22-year-olds going against each other, Tong and Stewart.
Markham is about an hour or so north of Toronto.
Tobias Myers up in the Mets bullpen. This will probably be Tong's last inning. Already 66 pitches through 3 1/3. And he walks Stewart. That's his third walk. That puts the tying run aboard with 1 out for Eugenio Suarez. And Justin Willard's going to pay a visit to the mound before Tong faces Suarez.
If they see that he's running out of gas, this will give Tobias Myers a little more opportunity to be ready to come in at any time if they want to make a quicker change. Long visit.
Check out the road ahead. Your radio home for the Mets. It's 8:80 a.m. and streaming on the free Odyssey app. Mets will try and get some revenge against the Marlins, who swept them in Miami. Then they go to Seattle with all that great pitching, and then they play the Padres, who somehow are keeping their heads above water, even though their offense has just been dreadful. Here's Suarez, who walked his last time up. Tying run at first and 1 out.
You said it last night, Gary. Sal Stewart's got some stolen bases. He tries to pick his spots.
He's a Jesse Winker kind of base stealer. Got a very short lead. I mean, as you mentioned, Tong with that slide step, so quick to the plate, he'd be hard to run on.
Pujols used to get 10 to 15 a year as well.
Bagwell?
Yep.
Beatty playing right along the line at third against Suarez. And he swings and misses at the changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Feels like he's been very changeup heavy in this game. Almost 30% of the time. And Suarez takes fastball right there for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Good inside, popped him inside.
Whatever pitch he's heavy with, it's because Torrens or the bench wants him to throw that pitch, because he's a young enough pitcher that he's not going to shake off. He'll just execute.
It's funny that you say that. That's hit out to center field, hit pretty well. Ewing back to the warning track. He's there, and he's got it a step from the fence. Ewing got a great jump on that ball, going directly out to center field.
They always say the one right at you, Keith, for the center fielder is the most difficult, but
he got this one all of 408 feet. He needed a couple more feet.
So a 407 foot out. And now Tom will face Nathaniel Lowe with a chance to get through this inning. So you said Tong will throw whatever they ask him to. I was asking Jonah about his workout routine because he looks a little stronger this year. He said, no, my weight's about the same. I said, well, are you doing things differently, like plyometrics or something? He goes, I don't know. I just do whatever they tell me to do.
Yes.
Which is probably the best answer. Up and into low, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, he's starting to get up here, falling behind the count, Ron. I think you said he's getting
Yeah.
a little bit tired.
Yeah, he looks tired to me.
Lowe had the RBI single off Bichette's glove in the third. Might well be Tong's last batter either way. Behind 2-0. Yeah, it's on the outside corner. 2-1.
Got to pop. Just keep it away from Lowe.
Lowe's been a hot hitter. He's hitting 7 straight games now. A resurgent season after a rough one last year in Washington and Boston. Yeah, that's too high, and now it's 3-1. Well, Jonah's been consistently behind the hitters the last inning or so. Survived it so far, but he's in a dangerous spot here against what might be his final hitter.
The stuff was much crisper in Miami.
3-1 coming to Lowe. And it's inside ball 4, so 2 walks in the inning, 4 in the game, and that's going to be all for Jonah. So Tong will come out after 3 2/3 and to leave with 2 men aboard in favor of Tobias Myers. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. Tong out, Myers in. We'll be right back.
The big news in New York was that Tom Seaver was coming back to Shea Stadium for the first time since his celebrated trade. And the fans were there to welcome him.
Net Memories presented by Prevagen. Let me tell you something. There was not a single soul in the stands that night who was rooting for the New York Mets.
And that's really, it's a bad memory, the trade of Tom.
2 months after he was traded, made his return to Shea Stadium. Big crowd in a season where there weren't a lot of big crowds. It was the franchise, and the Mets let him go twice.
647 starts. Tobias Myers is in there trying to stop this rally by the Reds.
Myers pitched in the first game of the series, 4 up, 4 down with 3 strikeouts. Spencer Steer bats with 2 out and 2 on. And Steer cracks one out to left center field. Overcomes Soto. He gets there to make the catch. Side retired. Myers throws 1 pitch, gets a hard out halfway through. 2-1 New York.
Business is looking good.
A.J. Ewing will lead off the bottom of the 5th, and we send it down to Steve Gelb. Steve?
You know, guys, last year in the minor leagues, A.J. Ewing stole 70 bases, but as is the case with most things at the major league level, it's not quite as easy when you get up here. He's just stealing bags at 3 for 6, a 50% rate right now. And Ewing said that he learned a valuable lesson on Friday night in the game against the Marlins. It was the 8th inning, a crucial situation, and he tried to steal second, got thrown out. Now take a look. He gets that little hop lead and then stops, hesitates, and ultimately gets thrown out. What Ewing said is that he expected the pitcher to move. He did not go, and so Ewing shut it down for a second and then kept on going despite the bad jump. Now in the minor leagues, that generally worked for him if he didn't have a good jump, because he said the throws weren't as accurate. Oftentimes he'd get in there as he flies one out to deep left field. That'll stay in the park for the first out of the inning. But he'd get in there safely because of his speed or because the throws were offline. In the majors, he learned if you don't get that good jump and you have to shut it down at any point, then you need to just stay put and wait for the next pitch.
I like that. I like that thinking.
No. Well, depends on the catcher who's behind the plate, too. Not every catcher is a great thrower in the major league. So he's got to rely on the scouting report until he gets familiar with the catchers, because there's some catchers that can't throw up here in the big leagues.
Well, that was Joe Mack, and Joe Mack had as quick a release as any catcher we've seen in the majors this year. Eric Wagman up for the second time. drilled a home run for his first hit as a Met in the second inning. And that home run is the difference in the game right now. It's a breaking ball and fouls it off 1-2.
Abbott quietly throwing a nice ball game despite giving up the 2 solos.
Those are the only 2 base runners the Mets have had. He hasn't had to pitch out of the stretch all night.
2 hits and that's it. No walks.
Eric Wagaman, 28 years old, from California, went to junior college there, drafted by the Yankees in 2017 in the 13th round. Didn't make his big league debut till 2024 with the Angels. And then last year, the full season with the Marlins. And he cracks that one to left field. Coming in is Blade, and he dives to make the catch.
I don't know if he got that on the end a little bit or got jammed.
I wonder there if the outfielder is helped because he can hear the bat cracking. If that helps him come in on the ball.
Got it towards the end. Well, you know what Rusty said. He loved it when the airplanes took off at Old Shake. I'd step out. He said I stayed in to hit because the outfielders were never going to hear the crack of my. Were never going to hear the crack of my bat. And Rusty said when he was in the outfield, he hated hitters that stayed in the box because he couldn't tell if they hit it hard or not because the airplanes were overhead. Makes sense.
How much does crowd noise affect that?
I never had to worry about being an infielder, you know.
Yeah.
I never had to worry about that.
Brett Beatty takes a sweeper down, 2-1. Beatty grounded out to short his first time up. Abbott's now retired 9 in a row. And the way things are going for the Mets right now, they might have to win this game 2-1.
Yes.
Mets coming into the night had scored 8 runs in their last 6 games combined. Beatty lines one to short, one hop off the glove of De La Cruz, and Beatty's safe at first.
Well, let's see how that should be an E.
De La Cruz trying to do or die backhand on one hop and couldn't quite come up with it.
He could have gotten in front of his ball. It was a soft liner. That hit him in the heel of the glove. What are they ruling it, Gary?
Nothing yet.
I think he got a little changeup on him, and that's why he missed that play.
They will charge an error to De La Cruz. So now Abbott out of the stretch for the first time tonight with 2 out of the 5th. And Torrens finds the hole on the right side. Beatty will stop at second. And the Mets have their 3rd hit of the game, the first one that hasn't left the yard.
Went with it and you open up. That's normally where a second baseman plays.
When a pitcher has not pitched out of the stretch for the first almost 5 innings, what's the biggest concern?
It's always feel, Gary. You know, you've gotten in such a great rhythm, and he's also thrown a pretty good ball game. You get into such a rhythm, you know, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's almost like dancing. And then you get into that stretch, and you feel like you've lost A and B, with just C and D. You know, that's probably just the tempo of it.
So now Carson Benz with a chance to add to the Mets lead. 0 for 2 tonight. Last time he hit one to the warning track in center, and he slashes that one foul.
Well, I saw this last night from downstairs, and look at the defense in the outfield. The Reds have done this the entire series against left-hand. Look at the left fielder. I mean, that is like playing a Dave Kingman, a right-handed dead pull hitter. Abbott's got good stuff, Ron.
Yes, he does. He's got good stuff. He has 3, 4 pitches that he throws for strikes, and he goes right after the hitters.
I like his hard curveball. He's got good command.
No walks in the game.
Came in averaging over 4 walks per 9, but lately has been better.
Nice block.
Papa John's key ingredients. The Angels have had more runs where they scored 2 runs or fewer this year.
Boy, the Red Sox.
One and two to Benj. And Carson slashes one down the left field line, but foul.
High fastball right there. One to go up and in. He's going to drop a hammer on him now, I think, after that pitch.
The error by De La Cruz extending the inning. Rafael De La Cruz's 5th error this year, which is a vast improvement. The last 2 years, he's had 29 and 26 errors, led the National League in errors each year. Abbott trying to work around it, and he misses inside the bench. And Stevenson has been incredibly successful challenging calls. Well, he's going to challenge this one.
He feels it hit the corner. It's just the height.
Yep. He had been successful 9 straight challenges before that one.
It had the corner. He doubled up inside, Ron.
He was trying to get his pitcher off the field.
Now 2 on, 2 out, 2 and 2 to Benj. And he lifts that one foul. Benj giving a good accounting of himself on this at bat. The first inning where the Mets have made Abbott work. This will be his 20th pitch of this 5th inning. Beatty at second, Torrens at first with 2 down. Bench lays off on the sweeper, and it's 3 and 2.
Hey.
Well, Bichette would be next. So now Beatty and Torrens will get the automatic start.
I feel like he's going to get one more breaking ball here, Keith.
I do too.
Despite it being kept too.
8th pitch of the at bat, and Bench rights one to the right center for a base hit. Beatty will score. Torrens to third. Carson Bench with a terrific at bat. Drives in the run to make it 3-1 New York. And after 6 straight games with 2 runs or fewer, the Mets finally break through for 3.
Open the floodgates with the air. This is an impressive. This is up and in. He wanted to go away, but he missed up and in on the other corner, and that's a good pitch, and that is good hitting. That is an impressive base hit.
19th RBI for the rookie, and now Bo Bichette with runners at first and third. And he slashes one into the netting.
Very impressive at bat. Oh, 2 unearned runs in this Wago.
Bench had been 1 for his last 20 before that base hit. That's a huge one for New York. One, 2 to Bichette, who hit one to the left field fence that was caught his last time up.
Well, let's take a look overhead here where the pitch is. The catcher set up away. He wants the high pitch. That's inside, and that is good hitting. That's on the corner. That's an impressive at bat right there.
Oh, and 2 to Bichette. Bo hits that one foul. 3 in a row he's fouled off the right side. All the Met runs tonight have come after 2 are out. This one started with 2 out and nobody on. The error by De La Cruz, and then base hits by Torrens and Bench to get a run in. And Bichette flies one toward left center field. Friedel closing on it, and he makes the catch to retire the side. But the Mets get an unearned run and lead 3-1 after 5. Empire State Building looking grand. Art Deco treasure.
That in the Chrysler Building.
Yeah, the Chrysler Building. Wonderful.
6th inning, Tobias Myers, who got the final out in the 5th, stays on for the 6th to face 8, 9, and 1 in the Reds batting order. Tyler Stevenson is flied out and grounded out tonight, 0 for 2. He takes Myers' fastball high for ball 1. Oscar Brazoban was the opener tonight. He worked the scoreless first. Jonah Tong went 3 2/3, allowed just an unearned run on 3 hits, 4 walks, 1 strikeout. That's cracked down the left field line by Stevenson, and that'll go to the corner.
Boy, Stevenson has just been hitting some rockets this series.
Third extra base hit, his fourth hit in the series. A leadoff double in the sixth, which makes that RBI hit for Benz look that much bigger.
Well, Myers is over the top, and he pitches up in the strike zone with his fastball.
That's Brooks Raley up in the bullpen. TJ Friedl, the number 9 hitter, has a bunt single and a walk tonight. The corners pinch in against him. Always a threat to lay one down. Friedl getting his first action in this series, and he has made his presence felt. Last year he hit .261 with 14 home runs, a .742 OPS, which is down over 200 points this year.
Oh, it does
Pops this one up on the infield, and Semien on the outfield rim. One hands it, one away.
Well, another failure to advance a runner, minimum, particularly when you are a leadoff type hitter, not a power hitter.
The Reds have had tons of opportunities tonight. They've left 9 on base in the first 5 innings. Now Blake Dunn up for the 4th time. An infield hit in the first, 1 for 3 on the night. Reds are 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position after that pop up by Friedl. You know, seeing Myers pitch after Tong, you really get the idea that Tong, who used to be just as over the top as Myers, has really lowered his arm angle.
He has a few degrees, but doesn't have to give him a better shot to get on top of that curveball.
Because Myers he's right on top.
He's like an Iron Mike type of approach.
Two very similar pitchers throwing high fastballs.
Remember Josh Colementor?
Josh Coleman.
Tomahawk thrower.
First time I ever saw it as a kid was Jim Palmer. He was a guy that was straight over.
Yeah.
And a little earlier than Jim Palmer was Jim Bouton. That's lined into left field. A base hit for Dunn. They'll stop Stevenson at third as Soto hits the cutoff man. And scrambling back to first is Dunn. So the tying runs are on base with 1 out. And here comes Carlos Mendoza, and they're going to bring Raley into the game to face De La Cruz.
Four-seamer straight over the top, but that ball runs in, not away. That four-seamer, you want it to stay true or maybe work its way towards the outside part of the plate.
So Myers gives up a couple of hits in the 6th. Raley will come in and try and bail him out. 3-1 Mets. We'll be right back. While the big fellas play here, let's show you some pictures of some of the younger set. He is intense.
Yes, he is.
Look at that.
The mayhem, ready to make some mayhem.
Okay, Regal Real Estate.
6 rooms, Riverview.
Oh, champions, are they all-stars?
Wow, we're far afield in South Carolina there. That's your home country.
Yes. Sweet.
Raley in to face Ellie De La Cruz. 2 of the last 3 outings for Brooks have been a little shaky.
Tough guy to double up. They're playing for 2, and rightly so.
And De La Cruz is hitting the foot, and that'll load the bases.
Usually the control of Raley with his slider and cutter has been impeccable, but the last couple of times he just has not had as good a control, and he saw it there.
Well, you know, if you're the Reds, you want De La Cruz hitting here. I mean, it loads the bases and puts the tying run in scoring position, but boy, you got a left-hand hitter coming up now in Bleday.
Last time out on Sunday in Miami, Raley gave up a walk and a couple of hits, got bailed out when A.J. Ewing threw out a runner at the plate. J.J. Bleday 0 for 2 and a walk, lefty on lefty. And he pops one up on the infield. Infield fly rule will be invoked. The batter is out. And Vientos squeezes it 2 away.
Rayleigh wanted that, but Vientos called him off.
Properly so.
I think this kid's is going to end up being the tougher out, the toughest out in this lineup at some point.
Might already be.
Yeah.
Sal Stewart has had 2 good defensive plays made against him today. He's also drawn a walk. Rayleigh will use the full windup with the bases full. And Stewart takes that sweeper for a strike. 0-1. That's the sharp break
yes, it was.
that he's been looking for. Stewart tops one. Tough play from Beatty. Makes the bare hand pick up the throw. Not quite in time.
Oh, boy.
As a run comes home to make it 3-2. See if the Mets have been a challenge. They will not. Stewart with a topped ball for an infield hit to drive in a run.
Boy, oh boy. A bleeder, and you're playing back. That's nice play by Beatty again. But, you know, playing too far back, he beat it by his full step.
He made that play similarly against Stewart his first time up today and threw him out, but not this time. So now the tying run is on third, and Eugenio Suarez steps in. And he takes a sweeper for a strike.
It's twice that Rayleigh has, well, you'll take it.
36th RBI for Stewart, having himself quite a rookie year. And that cutter missed just inside, a ball and a strike. Suarez hit one of the warning track in center field that Ewing ran down his last time up. 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. And he got jammed by that cutter and fouled it off to Renz. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reds have outstanding speed at third with Dunn and at second with De La Cruz. Stewart at first. 1-2 to Suarez. He's DHing tonight. And really misses away with the sweeper. 2-2.
Suarez looks very comfortable at the plate.
Two. He reaches for it and pops it up into shallow center. On comes Ewing to get there. Side retired. The Reds scratch out a run, but the Mets hold the lead. 3-2 going to the bottom of the 6th. Mets with a 1-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Juan Soto bluffs a bunt, takes a strike against Andrew Abbott, who just threw his 80th pitch of the night. Soto hit one out of the ballpark in the first inning. His 12th of the year, his 8th in the last 12 games. And they say he went around on that half swing.
I thought he did.
Only Kyle Schwarber's hit more home runs this month, and both of them missed time because they were sick.
That's right.
Schwarber missed 3 games, Soto missed 2.
Well, here's the home run back on the first. Number 12. Slider that stayed on the inner half.
He needs something else.
1-2 from Abbott. And Soto lines one into center field. That's down for a base hit. So Juan has his 2nd hit of the night. Mets have their 5th against Abbott. Leadoff man on to the 6th. First time the Mets have had the leadoff man on all night.
Fastball up, did not get it in. He wanted to come in. Actually wanted to go further away. It's too much in the middle. Make mistakes to Juan. He's going to put a hurt on him.
Now Mark Vientos takes fastball for a strike. Soto has not been doing too much running. You can run on Abbott. In fact, he's given up the 2nd most stolen bases of any pitcher in the National League this year. 10 of them already.
There's a different look at Soto's base hit. Just really on that back foot.
Change up in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Vientos has struck out and flied out. 0 for 2 tonight. 1 for 8 in this series. So we've got his open mid tightened.
Really a purpose, Abbott, with each and every pitch. You know, fastball, got it over for the strike. Change up out of the same tunnel. Fastball up to give him a different look. Maybe he'll come back with the changeup out of the strike zone.
And Vientos foul tips it for strike 3. Only the 3rd strikeout of the night for Abbott. 1 out of the 6th.
Crafty veteran showing you the art of pitching. Doubled up on the fastball. This one he ran away. Foul tip by Vientos.
Reds have a right-hander, Zach Maxwell, up in the bullpen. Haven't seen him yet in this series. And Marcus Semien has hit the ball to De La Cruz twice. Floats that one foul. De La Cruz made an outstanding backhand catch of a line drive in the 2nd. Maxwell, a huge man.
I'll say. Jeez.
De La Cruz's error led to an unearned run in the 5th that right now is the difference in this game. Soto extends his lead. The thing that I noticed today in the stats on Marcus Semien, he has the lowest OPS against breaking balls of any qualified hitter in the majors. 285 OPS against breaking balls. There goes Soto. The throw by Stevenson is in time.
I think he got in.
Soto with the pop-up slide. He's not arguing the call.
Got him like mid-thigh, Keith.
Let's see. He's safe. Oh. Boy, oh boy.
Ball was moving around in Steer's glove as he nailed the tag. 2-4 on the caught stealing for the 2nd out. 2nd time Soto's been caught this year.
What a difference a year makes. I mean, stolen bases.
It's just crazy.
Or caught stealings, I guess.
Last year the Mets were successful close to 90% of the time. This year they're just 29 of 44, so more like 65%. Semien fouls back a high fastball.
Snow cone on the tag. Oh boy, that ball was moving, wasn't it?
I think the act of making the tag secured the ball in the glove.
Yes.
Last year the Mets had 147 steals. They were caught 18 times. This year 29 steals. They've already been caught 15 times. And that's ball 4 to Semien, and the Mets have a 2-out base runner. First walk of the night for Abbott. This last year the Mets had Antoine Richardson, who was really the stolen base whisperer.
Yep, he went to Atlanta.
Mets wanted to retain him, but Braves made a better offer, and without Richardson here, the Mets have been hard pressed to replicate the stolen base success from last year, including Soto, who set a career high last year with 38. So here's Ewing, who hit one to the warning track in left field his last time up. Ewing slashes one off the front of the Reds dugout, 0-1. AJ with his 0 for 2 tonight is now 3 for 17 against lefties. And Abbott quickly ahead of him 0-2. Luke Weaver is up in the Mets bullpen. Rarely got the last 2 outs in the 6th. And Ewing lays off the sweeper. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
wonder if Raley will come out in the 7th and face Lowe, or at least make Francona change, go to a pinch hitter.
.98 pitches now for Abbott. That matches his season high. Hasn't gone beyond 6 innings in any start, trying to get to 6 innings by retiring one more batter. 2-2 to Ewing. There goes Semien. Ewing pops one up in foul ground, and hustling forward is Stewart, but it'll be on the dugout roof. He's thrown as many as 113 pitches in a game in his career. About to throw 100 for the first time this season. It's a magic number, you know. Get to triple digits, it turns into a pumpkin.
I mean, graduate in 3 years. That's what he got on most of his biology courses. 100.
And Ewing lays off 3-2. Well, Bench had himself quite an at-bat in the 5th inning when he drove in the 3rd Met run. And now Ewing has gone from 0-2 to 3-2. We'll get Semien in motion from first. Lowe continuing to hold him on, leaving that hole open on the right side. And Ewing goes down swinging to retire the side. 4th strikeout for Abbott after 6, 3-2 New York. Brooks Raley stays out there to face Nathaniel Lowe, leading off in the 7th inning. Lowe has an RBI single and a walk tonight. And Raley gets that first pitch in for a strike. Lowe, then Steer and Stevenson, 2 right-hand batters, so this might be Raley's last hitter. And that sweeper just missed, and Torrens is going to challenge the call.
I mean, this one's going to be
A strike.
middle.
I think it's a strike.
It is indeed a strike.
Yep. Middle. And again, we remind you that we don't see the box that you're seeing at home, folks. They don't allow us to see the box in game, and so therefore we are. It's just our hawk eyes up here that are making the calls.
More importantly, Torrens' Hawkeyes. He's gotten 2 overturned in this game. Ball and 2 strikes on Lowe. And he goes further away with the sweeper, 2-2. And now a full count. That was just a little off. 3-2 coming. And he foul tipped her for strike 3. Came back with that sweeper on 3-2.
That was ball 4. That backed up inside.
So 1 out, and it looks like they're going to stay with Raley against the right-hand hitter Steer.
This is not a strike.
But Lowe identified it as a pitch that's going to be down the middle, but it stopped breaking because it was a backup.
So Weaver is ready in the bullpen, but they're going to stay with the lefty against Steer. And he takes a sweeper inside. Steer is 1 for 3 tonight. And the sweeper hit out to right center field. Bench ranging back. On the warning track, he makes the catch.
Ball carried.
I mean, he plays shallow, and he had to go 40, 50 feet, 60 feet to catch that ball. He made it look easy.
Well, those 2 guys in center and right, they cover a lot of ground.
They both could have caught it.
Yep. It's a lot of speed out there. Certainly is helpful. So 2 out and nobody on. Raley will try and finish the inning. He's already gotten 4 outs. Facing Tyler Stevenson, who cracked a double and scored in the 6th inning. Stevenson has a base hit in his only career at bat against Raley. And comes inside with a fastball, and it's 2-0. And that bullpen has been just fine.
Just getting a little bit underneath that breaking ball, Israeli.
Got the left-hand hitter Friedel on deck. There's a strike to Stevenson, 3-1. Really has not had an outing yet this year where he's gotten 5 outs. And that's a high strike. And now it's 3-2. Two out and nobody on. Full count to Tyler Stevenson. And that goes to the backstop, ball 4. Stevenson's on with a walk. And now Friedel will come up with a man on. See if they run for Stevenson.
Maybe not with 2 outs. Gets on second, maybe.
Now we're going to get a pinch hitter for Friedel.
Myers,
that's the move.
Dane Myers, who started in center field last night, had a couple of hits, announced as the pinch hitter. So do you now bring in Weaver?
Yeah.
The only left-handed bat on their bench is Will Benson. And it's not going to be, it's going to be Weaver coming in to face Myers. Three-2 Mets in the 7th. We'll be right back. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official health and wellness partner of the New York Mets. By Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. And by Chili's. Chili's Big Crispy 3 for me. The best $10.99 you can eat. Wheels turning. Luke Weaver in to face the pinch hitter Dane Myers. We're going to pinch a runner as well. Will Benson will run for Stevenson, carrying the tying run at first.
Well, with the right-hander in, that makes Benson a stolen base threat. Myers had a couple of hits and a walk in a start in yesterday's game.
Weaver last pitched Sunday in Miami. Worked a 1-2-3 8th inning. Myers facing Weaver for the first time. Benson at first only has 1 steal this year. And Weaver trying to finish off this top of the 7th after Raley got the first 2 outs. Walked Stevenson, and now Benson, the pinch runner at first, carrying the tying run. And Dane Myers cracks one to right center. Overcomes Ewing. He reaches down and makes the catch. Rolls over and hangs on. A.J. Ewing showing off the speed and got his glove under that ball. Side retired.
Nicely done.
Witness history this Saturday, May 30th, as Lee Mazzilli and Bobby Valentine are inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame in a special on-field ceremony. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets and plan to be in your seats by 3:30 p.m. The hulking right-hander Zach Maxwell is on to pitch. Jared Young will bat for Eric Wagaman as we start the bottom of the 7th. P.J. Higgins is now catching. Dane Myers now playing center field.
Maxwell will reach triple digits with that fastball. Big fella.
Jared Young made his return to the lineup last night. Had 2 plate appearances. There you see the defensive changes for the Reds. Young had not played in a month and a half after surgery on a torn meniscus. Young batting for Wagaman, who made his presence felt tonight with a home run in the 2nd inning, his first hit as a Met in his first start. And Maxwell misses high. Maxwell is a rookie. He was in 8 games for the Reds last year. This is only his 2nd appearance this year, and he got beat up his first time out. Gave up a couple of home runs in an inning of work. 6'6", 275. And he gets the call on that one. 3-2.
This is his 3rd stint with the Reds already. And his 2 strikes have been 2 cutters that he's thrown at 93. Hasn't been able to control that 100 miles an hour.
Red Beatty on deck, and then Luis Torrens for the Mets in the 7th. And he got jammed by that fastball and was able to fight it off.
I don't know how that bat didn't break.
Caleb Ferguson, the lefty, is now up in the Cincinnati bullpen. 3-2 coming to Young. And Jared lines one into right center for a base hit. Turned on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball and roped a base hit. The Mets out the leadoff man on in the 7th.
Well, he is a threat up there. He's got pop. He's got a good swing.
Nice production in that 7th slot tonight.
Two guys who were not here 2 days ago. Wagaman called up. Young activated off the injured list, and they've both produced. Here's Beatty, who's 0 for 2, reached on there and scored in the 5th. Takes the cutter for a strike, 0-1. Andrew Abbott went 6 innings. He allowed 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 5 hits. Walked 1 and struck out 4. Allowed 2 home runs. Beatty takes that fastball on the inside edge, and he's going to challenge the call from Edwin Moscoso.
It's low enough. It's not a high. I think it hit the corner. We'll see.
It is a strike. So the Mets are down to 1 challenge remaining.
You're good at this. It's almost like you know the strike zone.
I am good at this.
Thank you. You mean all those times when you told the umpire he made a mistake, you were right?
Yeah. I think so.
0-2 to Beatty with Terens on deck. Beatty fights off that fastball.
Maxwell is from Dallas, Georgia, went to Georgia Tech.
The only catchers got to the big leagues from Georgia Tech. Beatty takes a slider in the dirt, and Young will take second base as it squeezes past Stevenson. So on the wild pitch, the Mets have a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Yeah, ball in the dirt. Tries to get over there. Just got by his right hip.
DJ Higgins now doing the catching after Stevenson left for a pinch hitter. First appearance in the series for Higgins. 1-2 to Beatty. Trying to at least get that runner over to third. Takes the fastball up and away. 2-2. The Reds 2 runs, 7 hits. The Mets 3 runs and 6 hits. The Mets have been ahead from the jump. Home runs in the first 2 innings by Soto and Wagaman. Reds cut it to 2-1. Mets added an unearned run, and the Reds got that one back. And that cutter misses. 3-2. Maxwell got ahead on Beatty 0-2. Now he's run a full count. Looks like he's already put in a day's labor. Eighth pitch coming from Maxwell to Beatty. Back.
He's got that fastball against the left hand. He doesn't like to throw inside. He can throw as hard as he wants. It's out over the plate. He got a shot. He can pop one inside. It's going to be trouble.
Again, the 3-2. Line right at De La Cruz, and scrambling back is Young.
Good base running.
And Beatty with a good at bat there, but hits it right at De La Cruz for the first out.
Good base running by Young.
So 1 out, Young at second, and now Luis Terens, who had a base hit to right his last time up in the 5th.
You can't get his slider over. He's another one of those guys that if he ever can command his slider,
he would be very, very difficult. Steer is holding Young close to the bag. That opens up that right side.
Oh boy, bounces that one. Higgins did well to grab it on a hop as he spiked the fastball.
I'll say.
And that cutter misses away. Now it's 3-0 to Torrens with Carson Bench waiting on deck.
Well, the first 2 games of this series, when the Reds had the lead, Francona went to a certain part of his bullpen, but now going to different relievers with Maxwell first.
It's strike 3-1. Kel Ferguson getting ready for Bench. This is probably Maxwell's last batter.
And a big wide open right side of the infield for Torrens, who's already got a base hit to that side of the infield.
And he hits this one on up the middle, but there's Steer having it played perfectly. That's the second out as Young goes to third.
Well, he tried to go that way.
So now Bench, and it looks like they're going to leave Maxwell into base hit. Carson had a base hit to center field to drive in the third Met run in the 5th inning. And Terry Francona wants to see what he's got from his rookie right-hander. And Bench takes the fastball for a strike.
There was a fine at bat right here. Up and in fastball. Really a long, a lot of pitches. Just a terrific at bat.
Out of here with Young at third and 2 out. And he swings and misses at a fastball, and it's 0-2. Oh, 2 to Bench. And he lofts one into center field for a base hit. In to score is Young. Another pitch up and in that Bench is able to hit into center field for a base hit. He drives in his second run of the night. It's 4-2 New York.
Same pitch, Gary. But this one off a right-hander. Up, not in enough, and he's quick. He's hit that. When he came up, he was having trouble with that letter high pitch. But he gets his hands through. And 2 clutch RBIs for that young man today.
Well, they left the right-hander in to face Bench, and Bench went bang, bang, Maxwell. 4-2 New York.
It's almost like the Reds have an old scouting report on Bench. What was getting him out in the beginning of the year.
Bichette has been up 3 times, flied out each time. He might dump this one in. On comes Dunn from right field, and it's foul. Bench was all the way around third base with that ball landed.
Young legs.
Keith, talk to me about getting your hands in to be able to handle that pitch.
Well, he rushed his hands through. I mean, he's got a little bit of an uppercut up when he swings on the high pitch. That's why he was having trouble. I mean, he's got a little bit of a stiff swing, but he's strong enough. He comes in here to get that ball that's in on him a little bit. He has that ability.
Well, let's look at the 2 hits.
There's contact. Look at his hands, how he brought his hands in. Now this ball is a little bit above the belt. And a little more inside. Here's the one that just happened. It's more plate, and that's letters. Same with his hands. It brings them in a little bit to get the barrel through. And, you know, that'll make a pitcher shake his head.
Brings those 2 hands into the body wherever the pitch height is.
Bichette lays off the cutter, and it's 3-1. So the Mets tacking on a run here in the 7th. Third time tonight they've established a 2-run lead. And Bichette takes a walk. Now that'll get Soto to the plate with 2 men on.
for Benja's hit in the fifth. So he brings his hand, has to let go with one hand. And that's you have to be very strong to do that. Now here's the hit this inning. He's got a little more plate for him. And you know, you just got to tip your hat there. I mean,
like a backhanded chop.
That's going to be all for Zach Maxwell. Caleb Ferguson will come in to face Juan Soto with 2 on and 2 out. We'll be right back. From the lack of offense to a struggling Nolan McLean, Connor Rogers and Joe DeMaio break down another rough week for the Mets on the latest episode of the Mets Pod. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Mets hoping for a little more pleasant evening tonight. They've got a 4-2 lead. Veteran left-hander Caleb Ferguson in to face Soto.
Had a lot of success coming out of that Dodger bullpen. Been on the IL with an oblique strain.
This is his first outing of the season. Soto just challenged that strike call. That's down to their last challenge, and I think he's going to get it overturned.
by much. Just missed.
Wow. That's all it takes. Less than a tenth of an inch. Soto's 1 for 6 in his career against Ferguson. Benj at second, Bichette at first with 2 out, a 1 home here in the 7th. And that one stays inside.
Did it hit him?
He says it hit him, and now the home plate umpire agrees. It took Edwin Moscoso seeing Soto saying he'd been hit before he acknowledged he'd been hit, and P.J. Higgins, the catcher, didn't like one little bit of that. Neither did the Reds dugout.
And do you see Carlos Mendoza? He's like, I want anything but a hit batter. I don't want Soto to get hit here, just like the Reds didn't want. Oh,
he also didn't get hit. Is that catcher's interference?
Yes,
it's catcher's interference. So it's not that he was hit. They called it catcher's interference. The bases are loaded for Mark Vientos. Foul back. So the first batter that Ferguson faces this year reaches first base on catcher's interference. Second error of the game for the Reds. Reds were able to cash in the first one. Vientos has gone 0 for 3 tonight, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Benj at third, Bichette at second, Soto at first with 2 down. And that cutter low and in, ball and a strike. Caleb Ferguson last year pitched for the Pirates and the Mariners. Was in 70 games total. Now his first game with the Reds. And Vientos fouls off the fastball, and it's 1-2. Ferguson has been on quite the odyssey the last couple of years. Yankees, Astros, Pirates, Mariners, Reds, all in the last 2+ years. 1-2 coming. And the curveball hit down the right field line, slicing toward the stands. Done over for a look, and it's out of play. Vientos facing Ferguson for the first time. Zach Maxwell worked 2/3 of an inning. So far has been charged with a run on 2 hits. Bases loaded, 2 down, 1-2 to Vientos. And Mark takes the cutter low and in. It's 2-2. Marcus Semien would be next. Vientos, the 7th man up in the inning. Vientos pops one up behind first base. Low going back in foul ground. Dunn coming over, and Dunn makes the running catch. But speed pays. Dunn can just fly. And he came in to grab that one to leave the bases loaded in the 7th. 4-2 Mets. Luke Weaver got the final out in the 7th with some help from A.J. Ewing. Now the Mets have a 2-run lead as we go to the 8th. After Benj's second RBI hit. Blake Dunn leads off in the 8th inning, 2 for 4 today. He takes the first changeup for a strike, 0-1. That's one with Brazoban as an opener, 1 scoreless inning. Jonah Tong, 3 2/3, an unearned run on 3 hits. Tobias Myers, 2/3 of an inning, 1 run, 2 hits. Brooks Raley, an inning and a third, no runs, 1 hit. Dunn lays down a beautiful bunt, and they'll never throw him out. Weaver heaves it, but Dunn has such great speed. Once he got it down, that was inevitable. His 3rd hit of the night.
That is a beautiful bunt.
You know, off the changeup, if you anticipate that changeup's a pretty easy ball to bunt. And that's a 3rd bunt base hit for the Reds in this series.
Friedel had one earlier tonight.
Wow.
Somebody's got to tell Weaver to hang on to that ball, don't they?
He's so quick that he felt he had a chance. He's got to know the runner, though.
Not that guy.
No.
He's a stocky guy, but he can really fly.
Must have been like a great running back in high school.
He was a hurdler.
Hurdler.
Yeah,
Really?
hurdler in high school.
No, dangerous bat.
Ellie De La Cruz 0 for 3, was hit in the foot by a pitch his last time up. And he takes fastball away for ball 1. De La Cruz 0 for 2 in his career against Weaver. Change up in for a strike, 1-1. 3 times in this game the Mets have taken a 2-run lead. The first 2 times the Reds were able to get a run back. That's adding a run in the bottom of the 7th to give Weaver a little bit of a cushion. De La Cruz the tying run at the plate. And he hits that off the end of the bat to right center. Bench will have room to make the catch.
Well, he got that away just enough to get it towards the end. Just off. Got it enough away to get it on towards the end of the bat. If he'd had, excuse me, if he'd had that 3 more inches over the middle, that would have been the bat of the barrel. We'd be looking at a tie ball game.
So now J.J. Bleday, who's 0 for 3 and a walk. Fouls back first pitch, change up, 0-1. Lorenz got nailed by that one.
Right on the forearm, I think.
Oh, a double hit off the end of the glove and then off the forearm. Day has 4 hits in this series, including a home run. Weaver throws the changeup away, 1-1. The Red Sox shut out the Braves tonight, 8-0. Connolly early, 7 scoreless for Boston. And Keith, the Cubs have won.
Yes.
10-4 over the Pirates.
They weren't going to lose every game.
Well, for a while they won every game, then they lost every game. I read that they were only the 2nd team in history to have 2 10-game winning streaks and a 10-game losing streak in the same season, and they did it in the first 50-odd games.
Yes.
That's crazy. 1-2 to Bleday, and he pops one up. Beatty coming in from 3rd, going out is Torrens, and it's Torrens to make the catch. Weaver was all ready to catch that ball himself, but Torrens wouldn't let him. 2 out.
Well, that's good awareness though by Weaver, because he knows Beatty's so deep. So there's really only 2 people in play, and the catcher, that kind of play is not always that easy.
So 2 out and a runner at first, and now Sal Stewart, who had an infield hit to drive in a run his last time up. Reds 2 runs, 8 hits. The Mets 4 runs and 7 hits. Also on the surprise meter tonight, the Tigers won a game. Casey Mize recently back from the injured list, 4 scoreless, and they beat the Angels 4-0. That's just their 4th win in their last 21 games.
Yeah, the Mets in that series here have sent them on their way downward.
That stretch of 21 games going 4-17. That's since Skubal went on the IL.
Angels, another nightmare season so far.
Basically every year since 2002. 1-1 to Stewart. And the changeup in at the knees for a strike. Stewart's going to challenge that call.
I think it's low.
Got a lot of challenges the last couple of nights, and that is a ball. So now it's 2-1 to Stewart.
Cincinnati retains the challenge.
Team has one challenge remaining.
AB's test is going to make you incorrigible.
I may have a new occupation.
Pitch assessor. Let's just make yourself an umpire. You could get a job. Get good eyesight. That's at the knees, and again Stewart's going to challenge it.
He's going to lose this one.
Challenge the pitch.
So one low change up, and then this one for a strike.
Yep.
And now the Reds are out of challenges. It's a confident rookie.
Yes, he is.
2-2 to Stewart with Dunn at first and 2 out. And Weaver got him looking. After the 2 change-ups, he threw him a fastball, frozen pizza. Stewart is out, and so are the Reds. Spike it. Home 8th inning, Marcus Semien leads off against Caleb Ferguson and takes curveball for a strike. Marcus is 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. Robbed with a hit on a great play by De La Cruz back in the second. Semien swings through a fastball, and it's 0-2. Ferguson came on with 2 out of the 7. Soto reached base on catcher's interference to load the bases, but he got Vientos to foul out to keep the Reds in this game. And the cutter right there for strike 3 call. So Semien's out on strike for the first out of the home 8. CarShield presents streaming of SNY on the MLB app. Stay on top of all the amazing action with an enhanced user experience. Scan the code to download the MLB app today. 1 out and nobody on. Here's A.J. Ewing, who's 0 for 3 tonight. 2 strikeouts and a deep fly ball to left. And he tops one past the mound, and nice play by Ferguson to get to it. And that's the second out. So Ferguson quickly retires the first 2 hitters, and now will face Jared Young. Came up as a pinch hitter in the 7th. Base hit and scored the 4th Met run. In the 9th inning, the Reds will have Suarez, Lowe, and Steer right, left, right. And Devin Williams is getting ready in the bullpen. Williams looking to bounce back after giving up a walk-off grand slam in Miami on Sunday.
Last night, the Yankees pounded the Royals 15-1 and 7-0 already.
The Yankees are trying to beat the Royals for the 14th straight time, including the postseason. Left on left for Jared Young. It's been a very disappointing year for Kansas City. They're 11 games under 500. I thought they were going to be a lot better.
They're going to make the next move.
Right. I mean, they've got one of the best players in baseball. Maybe the best defensive player in baseball, one of the fastest players that he can hit. Of course, about Bobby Witt Jr.
They haven't got enough from Caglione, Pasquantino.
Sal Perez is getting old.
Yeah.
Ball and 2 strikes to Young. Cole Reagans was hurt. That didn't help. 1-2 coming to Young. And Jarrett tops that one to the right side. This time it's the second baseman Steele with the glove flip for the third out of the inning. On to the ninth we go. Devin Williams coming in to try to protect a 2-run lead. Oh, Katz's Deli. Let's stop by for some pastrami. After we're done here, it's Mercedes-Benz postgame live. Gary Apple and Todd Zeal will be along with some pastrami and other eats.
Rare, no line.
Make sure you get your ticket on the way in.
Yes.
Because otherwise you get really chastised. Devin Williams on to try and save it for New York.
Well, he had a tough outing in his last outing in Miami, but certainly before that he was on a great stretch.
Eugenio Suarez is 0 for 3 and a walk tonight. Low and Steer to follow. And Suarez chases a fastball away for strike one.
Boy, down 2 runs and jeez,
that rule does not apply anymore.
I just don't understand. The game is the same.
Not if you play it different.
But the result is the same.
Yeah.
You have to have a base runner to have a chance.
yes.
If you are up in the 9th inning, down by multiple runs, a walk and a home run are the same. Right?
It's agreed, Garrett. I don't question when you got one of your hitters up here. You're down 2 runs. You get a good pitch to hit. But he's swinging for the downs when it's only if he hits a home run, it's 4-3.
And he also swung at a ball.
Yeah, I mean, you need a base runner.
Well, a home run is a base runner too.
Yeah,
that's okay. But you got to give yourself a chance.
And that's easy up here, sitting in the rocking chair.
The Reds have had base runners in every inning. They've left 14 on base through the first 8 innings. And Suarez takes a fastball outside. Now it's 3-2. Suarez has 4 hits in this series. 0 for 3 tonight. 3-2 from Williams. And fouled back the fastball. 96 from Devin. On to Sports Night comes your way after the postgame show tonight. Lots more on the Mets and, of course, the Knicks. On to Sports Night tonight and every night right here on SN.
Best Knicks team ever. That's some
come
old-timers.
on.
That's some old-timers that want to argue about that.
Anybody remember 1970?
That's
Come
it.
on.
No one can.
Well, I can.
Yes, you can. I remember.
3-2 coming. Outside, ball 4. So Suarez winds up drawing a walk. Even after chasing the first pitch. Now the tying run will come to bat.
I apologize, Eugenio.
That is 7 walks given up by Met pitchers tonight. 7 walks, 8 hits, and a hit batsman. 16 base runners, and they've scored twice. Nathaniel Lowe is 1 for 3 and a walk. Drove in a run in the 3rd. And the changeup is off the plate for ball 1. Williams finds some trouble here in the ninth. In the outing on Sunday in Miami, he gave up a leadoff double, a sacrifice, a walk, and an intentional walk, and then the grand slam by Heriberto Hernandez. And 2 changeups, he's behind on Lowe, 2-0. Lowe is 0 for 2 in his career against Williams. Santos in front of the runner at first base. And Lowe takes a fastball inside. Now it's 3-0. Spencer Steer, right-hand hitter on deck. Lowe has hit 8 home runs this year. He's been hot with the bat. And he takes a 3-0 changeup for a strike.
Jeez. I believe Tong earlier in the game threw a 3-0 changeup for a strike.
And Lowe pops one foul, and now it's 3-2. Williams has run full counts against his first 2 hitters.
He overpowered him with that fastball inside.
Three-two coming to low. He fights off that fastball. Mets have pulled out the kitchen sink to try and win this one. Brazoban, Tong, Myers, Raley, Weaver for 4 outs. And now Williams trying to get his first out in the ninth. Suarez at first.
Rollover double play would be perfect.
And Lowe fouls back another fastball. That's 3 in a row. Eighth pitch of the at-bat from Williams to Lowe. And he walked him, and now the tying runs are on base. Back-to-back walks issued by Williams to start the top of the ninth. Justin Willard will head out to the mound.
You know, when you are a pitcher and your last game ends on a grand slam home run, it's only human that you try to throw perfect pitches, and that is what has got him in trouble. You gotta, the only way it works at this level is you gotta trust your stuff and you gotta throw strikes. It's the only way it works.
Got a pinch runner. Matt McClain will run for Lowe, carrying the tying run at first base. So Terry Francona has emptied his bench. Spencer Steer is the batter. Steer has gone 1 for 4 tonight.
Keith made a good point. They like to swing first pitch with runners on base. Do you swing though after 2 walks?
If you get a cookie, yes, because you got a pitcher struggling that needs. Don't let him get 0-1 on you. He throws you a good fastball.
And he threw a changeup on the first pitch and got a swinging strike.
He threw a good one.
He was sitting on a fastball. That's why he was ahead of the change. Going for the downs with Steer.
Steer is 1 for 8 in his career against Williams. And Steer shoots that one foul when it's 0-2. Of course, Williams has faced the Reds a lot. He spent most of his career in the National League Central, pitching for Milwaukee, so most of these Reds hitters have seen him plenty. Keep in mind, P.J. Higgins is the on-deck batter. He came in after Stevenson left for a pinch runner. Not the offensive player Stevenson is. 0-2 coming to Steer. And the changeup fouled off. See his numbers. He's had a lot of success against the Reds. Looking for his first out, ahead on Steer. 0-2. Struck him out. Got him with a changeup. 1 man down in the ninth.
That was nasty. It's all arms and legs. When he throws that good air bender, took a right turn there late. There's the grip, the pronation, and turns it over.
So now P.J. Higgins bats for the first time in this series. Higgins has had 17 at bats this year, 5 hits. 33-year-old journeyman.
Double play would be what the doctor ordered.
First and second, 1 out. And Higgins takes a changeup for ball 1. And still have a challenge in their pocket if Torrens wants to use it. Higgins had some time with the Cubs in 21 and 22. This is his first big league action since. And that's outside, and now Williams behind 2-0. Dane Myers is the number 9 spot in the batting order. He's on deck. A walk to Suarez, a walk to Lowe, a strikeout of Steer. And now behind on Higgins, 2-0. And he threw a fastball right there, 2-1.
Have to go after the guy who doesn't have a lot of playing time.
2 balls and a strike to Higgins. And a changeup. He couldn't stop the swing, and it's 2-2.
Takes 2-0 fastball when he needed to throw a strike, and takes a half swing at the changeup, a nasty one.
After that swing at the changeup, we got to throw another one, right, Keith?
I would think.
Yep.
Williams 23 pitches deep into this 9th inning. 2-2 to P.J. Higgins. Came with the changeup and missed inside. 3-2.
Well, it's my reaction to 2-0 taking the fastball. Sometimes I just put myself in the batter's box, and I just don't. No comprende.
Third full count for Williams to his first 4 batters. 3-2 coming to Higgins, and he fouled it at the plate. He swung at ball 4, and that one caught a chunk of Torrens.
It could have been ball 4, Gary, but that was too close to take. That was too close to take, and it was a really nasty pitch.
In these circumstances, the catcher Torrens has to get up quickly. He doesn't want to change the tempo for his pitcher, and he's ready to go.
This is the most pitches Devin Williams has thrown in any outing this year, and he still has 2 more outs to get. 2 on, 1 out, 3-2 to Higgins. And he just got a piece of that changeup to stay in. Higgins back in 2022 got a lot of playing time in Chicago. Hit 6 home runs that year. Those are the only 6 home runs of his major league career. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat from Williams to Higgins. Too high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 3 walks in the inning for Devin Williams. And the Reds have the bases loaded with 1 out, and Dane Myers coming up.
I mean, that was a good at bat to lay off that high heater.
Wow. And fouling off the 2 changeups. That's what made the at bat for Higgins.
And now back to the bases loaded here for Williams.
Myers came up as a pinch hitter in the 7th, saw 1 pitch and lined out to center field. A nice diving play by A.J. Ewing. Tying run has moved to second base, and Myers takes a changeup down for ball 1. Myers facing Devin Williams for the first time. And pitchers have now walked 9 tonight. Field back. And Myers takes a fastball strike, 1-1.
He was taking there.
I believe he was.
Yep.
Okay, big pitch right here.
This will be his 30th pitch of the inning. Suarez at third, McClain at second, Higgins at first. 1-1 to Myers. And he grounds one foul, and it's 1-2. Blake Dunn is the on-deck hitter. Dunn already has 3 hits tonight. The Reds stranded 14 runners in the first 8 innings. Williams trying to strand 3 more. 1-2 to Dane Myers. Let's look at McClain, who carries the tying run at second base. He's trying to pace himself now, 30 pitches deep. 1-2 to Myers. Struck him out. 2 men down.
changeup running in on Myers.
Out of the strike zone.
Gets tied up.
Yep. There you go. Don't cry.
So now bases loaded, 2 out. Blake Dunn is 3 for 5 tonight. And a call strike with a changeup. How often does a guy get 6 plate appearances in a game where his team's only scored 2 runs? Mets have been living on the precipice all night. And Dunn swings and misses, and now the Reds are down to their final strike. To Blake Dunn. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Devin Williams bends but does not break. The Reds strand 17 runners in a game that the Mets win 4-2. Couple of home runs and 2 RBI singles for Carson Benj, and some pitching on the edge to snap a 5-game losing streak and win the finale of this series.
Well, baseball never put in play in that 9th inning, but it goes to Williams as he escapes that bases loaded jam. Soto has been red hot with that home run in the 1st inning. Beautifully placed. One of the rare hitters he got on top 0-2.
And tip the hat to the youngster Carson Benj. 2 big RBI singles in the 5th, in the 7th. To go with the insurance run in the 7th. Both against left-handers.
A hard-fought victory for the Mets. Tonight's win is brought to you by Moo. Download the app for access to exclusive Mets perks and smarter trading. Moo Financial Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Game summary presented by New York Presbyterian. Jonah Tong, the bulk reliever, gets the win. Williams hangs on, throws over 30 pitches, and gets a save as Juan Soto and Eric Wagaman homered for the Mets tonight. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official health and wellness partner of the New York Mets. Your tri-state Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyOffers.com. By Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber Internet. Visit Optimum.com for details. And by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer today. Final score tonight, the Mets 4, the Reds 2. The Mets get tomorrow off. They're back in action Friday against the Marlins. Freddie Peralta against Max Myers. That's on Pix 11 on Friday night. 6:30 coverage. First pitch at 7:10. Back on SNY on Saturday for Hall of Fame Day. Christian Scott and Tyler Phillips, the starters, on Saturday.
Mercedes-Benz Postgame Live is presented by Mercedes-Benz. Visit your local dealer today.